Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome to the start of a brand new campaign series here today on the channel. We're back on Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD campaign. We're back on Total War Attila. We're going to be starting a Milan series here today. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on, let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I'll put in the description below the mod and the sub mods I'm running as well. So we're playing as the Commune of Milan. Man, Milan brings back a lot of nostalgia for me, back to the medieval 2 days, playing with the crossbow spam of a faction Milan was, and sort of like the really bright green. I remember you have to like complete the game to unlock it, or you can just go into the code and unlock it, which I definitely did. But yeah, let's have a look at the factions. So we have Uberto here with a population of 150,000. We're Catholic Christianity, Dux Lombardorum. Okay, our fated day has come. Oh, people of Milan, and victory is necessary. Okay. We've got some interesting and good buffs here. So we have Milanese arm manufacturing, which is a -10 upkeep cost for nobles. I really like the sound of that. We've also got a 25% construction cost for civic and industrial buildings. Wow, that's going to really help to build up our nation, as we only start with one province. We also get a 10% wealth from industry. What else is this? +2 spies recruited. And experience a 10% chance of spy actions. Okay. We're going to be able to deploy spy agents more consistently than the other European factions. However, we do get a -1 loyalty to rivalries. Our initial challenge is normal. However, I do think it's slightly harder, as we do have limited autonomy due to being a vassal of the Holy Roman Empire. So we might have to overthrow them at some point and declare our independence. However, there's a lot of factions in striking distance from us that we can probably gain and gain some momentum and territory. Okay, faction strength, exceptional crossbowmen, I like the sound of that, and faction weaknesses, Holy Roman Empire tributary. So that means we're just paying a tariff to them. However, without further ado, let's get stuck into the campaign. I'll see you guys on the campaign map. Rightio then, guys, welcome to the campaign map. Here are the mod credits, so huge shout out to the mod team, of course. Also, in the description below, my Discord, Patreon, Steam group and other social media links are there. I just wanted to give a shout out to them if that's something you're interested in. Okay, let's get stuck into the Milan campaign. We start off with the city of Milan. It's generating a decent amount of money per turn. We have 17 units. Okay, we've got some standard here, which is quite cool. A small number of cavalry, crossbow, and swordsmen. Looking at our recruitment pool, a lot of crossbow/archer units, some decent cavalry there. And we've also got a standard. I haven't actually seen that much in like the campaign, like medieval campaigns. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're working with. So diplomacy wise, we currently have a military alliance with Verona and Bologna. Now, declaring war upon the HRE straight away is not advised, as they do have England as their only military ally, but abundance of client states, what we can call in. So what I think is the plan is to eventually overthrow Otto and declare myself independent. We still can declare war upon some factions, and we do have limited autonomy. It's not as strictly sort of puppeted and vassals, so I can still go around declaring war upon people who are close to me that are not a part of the HRE. Well, Venice is. We could push and take Venice if that's something you'd like to see. Or we could maybe push against France, because the HRE and England usually go to war with them, trying to nab some of that territory. There will be an issue in the future trying to get trade rights, because at the moment, I'm pretty sure we're actually sandwiched in by allies. Yeah, so even if we do gain a port, we're not going to be able to get it back to our home territory. We might be able to move the capital, but it's something I'm going to have to see. So I think first of all, for our campaign, before we actually dive into diplomacy, let's have a look at the family tree. So we have Alberto here, who is 42, unmarried, so we need to get a princess in for the king. Or the the Doge, I guess he was. No, it'd be the King of Milan, I guess. We've got Andrei Iotto, 17, statesman, my son. Gaspar, who is 12, and Ottone, okay, 3 sons. So the Milanese royal line is secure for now. So what we want to do now is sort by attitude and go around to every single faction, trying to gain as much money and military alliance support as we can, because what we want to try and do is eventually turn all of the HRE's puppets against them. So the more military alliances we can get, the more money we can squeeze out, the better. So depending on what difficulty you guys play on, the RNG of your campaign, potentially this might be easier or harder for yourself. Now, I did say I was going to go to war with France, but I think getting a military alliance with them earlier on, if they're going to accept it, is probably a good idea. We're already with Savoy there. What about these guys here? So the more relations we can get and payments, the better. So I'm going to go around here now and try and squeeze out as many military alliances as I can. And the more we do that as well, we open up ourselves to the world. So I'm going to go around here now, because it's going to take quite some time just to go through every single faction, because by the look of it, it looks like a lot of factions absolutely love me. Okay, still working through it now. I will skip a little bit ahead, just due to the amount of micro-intensive this is. So I'm just trying to scam as much money as I can, but the better the foundation we can set up earlier on our campaign, will make things 10 times easier in the mid to late. Trust me, we need a solid foundation for the campaign, and then we'll be laughing. Okay, guys, so I've spent about 15 minutes, I swear, just trying to get relations, and I just thought I'd interject here, because seriously, it is just snowballing. We've managed to got Trier, Switzerland, Croatia, England, Hungary, France, Bologna, Upstalsblum, Savoy, Flanders, Austria. So we're going to be able to bring ourselves into a tremendous position early on. We probably could declare war upon the HRE if we wanted to, declare our independence early, just due to the amount of people we're able to call in. Honestly, I'm a little bit gobsmacked. We started off with 9,000. We could easily have a treasury of 400,000 once I've done with this, because as you can see, just military alliance straight up, they just love the Milanese. And once you sort of get relations with Genoa, Croatia, Bologna, obviously, this is compounding with, for example, the Sicilians. So I recommend diving into diplomacy. Look at this, is a joke. Oh my god. I just don't believe it, to be honest. It's working really well, but that's just the RNG. Sometimes you don't get, they sometimes don't accept stuff right off the bat. Also, because it's technically turn 1, we haven't ended anything, everyone's got their treasuries intact. So we can basically request what we want and try and get as much money as we can. This is ridiculous. And we don't even have trade either. So I don't really know what we're negotiating on, but it seems to be working crazily. So still in one of the latest versions of the Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD campaign, diplomacy, spam, and cheese is still incredibly strong. Like, we've even found Wales here. We're going to be able to unite Europe together here. It's just crazy. Okay, finally finished with my diplomacy. Okay, so we'll make it... Oh, God. So here's the diplomatic status. We've managed to essentially rally Central Europe, France, Hungary, Italy, and the British Isles. under a military alliance folds. We are the uniting force in Europe, and it's still turn one. We still are a vassal of the HRE. We probably could declare our independence, but I want to be a little bit stronger. Neighbours that we aren't allied with, Republic of Venice and Toulouse. However, this could theoretically break off somewhat depending on the HRE. I'm just trying to think. We could try and war deck them and just allow Brandt, Upstalsblum, Saxony, Lorraine, Trier, Bavaria, Austria to sort of descend upon them. My treasury, 58. No, that's not 58. Yeah, that is 58. What in the fuck? I'm gobsmacked that the treasury is that high. 58,000. I don't think I've ever had that on turn one. So, a bit of advice, whoever does the diplomacy for the 12-12 mod, maybe you should just look into it a little bit. Especially playing as Milan. Might be a little bit overpowered, but I don't know. I'm not a modder. Maybe it's working as intended. Okay, then maybe I'm just cheesing it. So, let's have a look at Milan itself. So we can break down that. We can nearly build it into like a huge, crazy, like, do we even need it to be a military, sort of a city? Because we've got the metropolis, Prince, and we have the stronghold itself. So what are the differences? What I want to know is the unlock. Because I'm not really caring about the garrison. Metropolis unlocks the recruitment of Death Company and that. So that's already what we have within inside. So we can bring in a Catholic Basilica, which allows the recruitment of priests. But what I'm sort of more interested in is probably the military order priory. So we can get those dismounted soldiers. I think that's probably a bit better. Also unlocks the recruitment here. Catapults, ballista. So we can get better quality units there. So if I was to get better quality soldiers, we have to go down this side of the tree. Better quality cavalry. Because we are going to need cavalry for this series if we want to compete with the HRE. So what other garrison buildings are there? Weaponsmith. So yeah, maybe keeping this building is probably not a bad idea. Okay, so let's upgrade the training grounds. I guess probably food-wise we'll keep that. So we'll break this down. As we've got an iron mine in Milan, we want to try and utilize that as quickly as possible. Okay, technology-wise, I quite like going down to Lance units so we can unlock the recruitment of higher tier units, but I also like to get the physician tech so we can get sanitation bonuses. Objectives-wise, decisions. Oh, we've got a couple of decisions here. I didn't know this. So we can form the Kingdom of Italy. View on the map. Oh, so this is the region thing. Ah, so we can form the Kingdom of Italy as a faction. That's really cool. Found a kingdom, Kingdom of Milan, take 4 regions. Found an empire, the Empire of Milan, 18. So there's even some short and mild victories that we can head towards. But we can also ask the Pope for money. If we gain and do missions for papal favour, we can spend that for 5,000 gold in our coffers. Faction wise as well, we've got some nobles we want to bring in, and I do want to change my heir to my firstborn son there. So I've actually married off Alberto to a princess from Hungary, Margaret, who's 37, he's 42, so she's probably got 5 potentially, depending on what sort of happens, years of childbearing. So hopefully we can get some more family members in. Andre here has married a Scottish princess, Isabella, 17 years of age. So we're going to have a Scottish fiery Italian man as my grandson eventually. So that'll be quite funny. And we'll marry off these guys once they come of age. Okay, let's prepare for war. Okay, looking at my army now, we can afford anything we want. So let's try and bring in the best quality soldiers we can. So looking at this army build already, it does lack a lot of cavalry. So let's bring in at least 2 rungs of cavalry, and then whatever the best sword unit we got. So unfortunately we can't get those because we don't have I guess available manpower. I don't know why we can't get those to be specific. So what's the best tier unit? Better quality swordsman there. Slightly 2 turns though. Let's try and go for the better quality. And now we've actually hit the max recruitment there. Surely we should be able to get some more. So can we just get rid of some of the cheaper spears here? Yeah, we can. So let's get some more better quality. And we'll leave it at that there. Okay, let's get a secondary army here now with my son and heir. And we'll allow him to get some better quality soldiers. So let's pretty much stack this and try and get as many of them as we can. Okay, so I think we should try and eye up the enemy competition. So, Genoa, what's the go with you? Have I just completely missed you by? Ah, maybe striking Genoa is the plan, because I've actually just somehow missed them there, and that would connect our capital early. I would like to hit Venice though as well. How many's in there? 16, and we have more soldiers on the way. What's our garrison looking like? So we can either go after Genoa, Venice, or maybe even France. Decisions. Okay, because we're still technically on the first turn, I don't know the longevity of this huge European military alliance. Because each one of these factions could have a sort of national focus, you could say, or basically a predetermined set of events to go to war with each other. For example, England and France. So I think war decking the HRE now, making the decision for their military allies to either stay, declare their independence, or go to war with me should be the plan. Instead of waiting, pushing for Genoa and Venice. I think we should issue the independence ultimatum now. And I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to declare war upon the HRE. I feel I have gathered enough political support to dethrone and challenge Otto. Let's cross our fingers and hope. Oh my god. We're at war. Castellan, call the troops. Oh, but my lord, there is no army. As if... Oh my god. Oh my god. They all abandoned them. Every single fucking one of them. Even Genoa pieced the fuck out. Trier, Schweiz, Lorraine, England. Everyone's just bamboozled them. No way. They have no one with them. Okay, so that's a little bit silly that now we're at war with them. So, we can actually see what they have. So they have the city of Frankfurt, and they have that northern one there in Saxony that we can't quite see. I don't believe that. I guess we just set a co-war target against them and just try and get everyone to mobilize and push. So, has that helped our treasury somewhat? I'm not entirely sure. 84,000 there, because it doesn't actually say that we're actually paying a tribute just yet. Anyway, I don't believe how well that worked. We can assign a couple of provincial governors here, 6 in total. Cosania, Luigi, Leopoldo. Which one's the better governor? Let's go with Leo in Milan. And in Milan, we don't need like religious stuff. We probably just need an army cap. So the more soldiers we can get. So I don't believe how well this Milanese campaign has gone so far. We have united the HRE puppets against them. You never know, they might sort of strike against me. So, fortunately enough for me, we have the Swiss Alps as a bit of a buffer to defend. So we can focus soldiers up here if we need to. If they decide to push south. I think pushing north and trying to seize their territory might be a little bit too ambitious. There's a bit of a buffer here. Munich, Dijon, Vienna, Graz. Look, if they do get rushed, we might go up into support. But basically, for now, I want to sit back, relax, convalesce, try and get as many soldiers as possible. And if there's an opportunity to hit Genoa, I'm more than likely going to take it. Is there any other factions I can trade with? No, we're already trading with a lot. But I wonder if peace with them is a factor. No. But we've united Europe against the HRE. More wars might come about between England and France, and maybe a couple of others here in the Italian peninsula. But now we're going to put our finances into our economy. So we've got a little bit of loyalty here dwindling. What's that at now? 3. Oh, here we go. During the end turn phase, we have our first potential crack in the European alliance. The Kingdom of Aragon and Toulouse have declared war upon the Kingdom of France and Burgundy. We can enter war on Allies' side, going to war with Aragon and Toulouse, or we can decline and break the alliance. I think we're going to do that now. So, we'll decline and break the alliance with France. Oh, England has declared war upon France. Yeah, this is what I was worried about happening. I'm lucky that I pushed everyone to focus on the HRE, because this fragile alliance is now breaking up. So England has declared war upon France, Flanders are going with them, and potentially Burgundy. So we can enter war on Allies' side against France, but I want to probably focus on the HRE and Genoa. So it's decline and break alliance. So we're going to be rather untrustworthy, but I've gone and got what I wanted. Independence. And once we build up enough, we probably should go and snatch that HRE territory if we can. But they usually start with like 2, 3, maybe 4 stacks. So we'll just see how they push against like Munich and Dijon. And we'll try and strike at an opportunity against Genoa if one presents itself. But so far, everything is looking up. Everything is coming up. Milan. Alliance broken. Milan and France. Aragon, England. So yeah, so they've been broken. But that's relatively okay. We could even like massively inflate our economy as well. Alright, let's try and get more of these guys if we can. Yeah, so they're sort of... They're not pushing too much. Taking Frankfurt might be the play. Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. Welcome back. So, I've made the decision to skip 12 turns ahead to our first battle of the campaign. It's 1224 AD. We still occupy our city of Milan. We have 2 armies recruiting. One with my son Andre, and the second soon to be with my son Gaspar, and then Otto there. So we've got 2 armies currently recruiting. Haven't really missed too much. Diplomacy wise, we have had to break alliances with France, Hungary and Denmark as they drew us into unfashionable wars. So what happened to the HRE? Well, I didn't actually see exactly what happens because it was shrouded in a fog of sort of mystery here. But the Austrians were managed to seize the city of Frankfurt, and I believe it was Upstalsblum to take their northern territory here in Saxony. So I moved up the King's army, the King of Milan, Uberto, to try and push and help out and fight where we can. But it looks like Swiss, Trier, Brabant, Saxony forces pushed them all the way to the Dutch city of Groningen. And as you can see here, the King of Milan has a full stack and is currently besieging the last HRE city, and Otto was killed and slain by Austrian forces, and Beatrix is currently the faction leader. Or is that sounds like a female name actually? Beatrix. Yeah, I guess there's a queen of the HRE now. However, there are 2 full stacks: the King of Austria, Leopold, and Sigismund, my fellow countrymen and blood brothers, IRL. The Austrians are going to come help us out, which is fantastic. So let's have a quick look at the family tree as 12 turns have passed, which means we've had some family members come of age. So, obviously, the King of Milan is married to Margaret of Hungary. Now, before that marriage, they did have 3 children. Andre, who married Isabel, Queen of Scots, had a daughter, Stefania, who's 8, Silvestro, who is 5, and the grandson of the King of Milan, soon to be the future king, Francisco, as well, who is a 3-year-old boy. Gaspar married into Margaret, into the Austrian Empire. After the power vacuum left by the HRE, Austria looks like they're going to be the dominant Germanic force in Europe. And then we've got Otto here as well. Aloisa and Oderiko are from the Hungarian marriage as well, so they have Hungarian blood within them. So we have a full stack here, 4 units of spears, the rest made up of medium melee infantry. We have bone infantry, just because I'm going for some early sieges early on, so I can arc my shot all over the wall, up and over the walls. Medium to heavy cavalry, and we have our standard as well. Further down in the south, we're still making 4,000 per turn, and we have 40,000 in the bank. Andre here, my son, has dismounted Templar units coming, along with Milanese swordsmen. So we should have 2 full stacks with Milan soon. And going into our diplomacy, where is it? There it is. Right. So most of Central Europe is with us. France and England have good relations, but no bonds of military alliance just yet. We are running into a little loyalty problems. Like, we've already got loyalty problems, and because we're not warring so much, we can't sort of bound everyone in with influence. But without further ado, let's have the siege of Groningen. As you can see, we have 8,341 allied forces against the HRE, who have deployed 4,000. Mostly made up of cavalry, crossbows, and urban axemen. We have the Austrian king and a second army here ready to help us out. Let's check a quick save and a hard save. Okay, let's have the siege of Groningen. What a crazy thing to say. If you came to me with a magic 8-ball and said, Simpzy, in episode 1 of the Milan Campaign, you'd be having your first battle in the Netherlands, the Battle for Groningen in 1224 AD, with allied Austrian forces and Milanese going against the HRE, I wouldn't fucking believe you, to be perfectly honest. But we've managed to gang up and declare our independence upon the HRE, and now we're pushing them so far north to the Netherlands. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do with this territory. However, having the Dutch province under our control could work as a staging ground to leapfrog into Scandinavia, further into the British Isles, or maybe just pushing south into the Belgian region. So we want to try and, I just want to sort of burn some turns, 12 in. We want to try and get as much armies and get them out as quickly as possible, so we can start conquering some regions for the French campaigns. Sorry, the Milan campaign. But yeah, couldn't really do much with Frankfurt. Austria went in and stormed the gates. They were like, yes, we should take Frankfurt. We will be the dominant German force. And then auf Stralsund, the Belgians managed to take more territory further in the north. Okay, guys, welcome to the battlefield. Let's get stuck and right into it. It's a nice dry day. It's actually a little bit foggy. We should be alright. Oh, no! I was being pedantic about a dry day, and now I've just shot myself in the foot royally here. Oh my god, we can't see shit. Okay, so here is the city. Looks like there's a pathway in there. Another one here. The city of Groningen really isn't that large, and there doesn't even seem to be much of a force outside. There's one watchtower there. So, why did they make me build all this siege equipment when it was such a small fort? I guess it hasn't expanded. Maybe, yeah, we can just waltz in. We actually don't need to break down anything. That's so weird. Okay, so I guess we'll move my siege equipment, yeah, back then. I didn't even need to do that. I guess it's still okay, as I was able to continue to siege the city and get that degradation up, but overall we didn't really need it, so they can go there. What I realistically want to do now, I was going to say we had a couple options for this fight. I think sitting back, relaxing, and allowing the Austrians to push and take the initiative for this fight, do most of the fighting and the dying, will serve us best. If the AI is going to come in and help, we're going to make them work for it. However, even though saving Milanese lives is a good thing, it might be more advantageous to push and get my chevrons up instead of losing a unit. That's all what I'm thinking. That could be a potential play, because we want to try and get a professional army as quickly as possible. And you never know, seeing as how open this battlefield is, I wouldn't be surprised if the HRE in fact charges at a point. And with this terrible visibility, it doesn't make things better. So I might have to protect my archers somewhat here. Okay, so let's meet the Milanese units for the first time for the series. So we have our medium to light Milanese swordsmen here, holding the front line, and then we've got some additional spearmen there as well. The snake, or I think it's a snake or a dragon of Milan, not entirely sure. I love the coil though. Here is the Milanese standard. Check out this! The Red Prince. The Red Knight on the glorious chariot, bringing Christendom to Groningen. And then of course we have the King of Milan here, Uberto. Okay. Then we have more swordsmen as we push down here. And god, this fog is absolutely shit. Like I've lost my bearings completely. Where's the cavalry? That's what I want to show you guys. Here we go. Here is the Milanese Cavalry. Now, depending on how the HRE react, I reckon they're going to charge us. So here's the Death Company as well, the unique cavalry for the Milanese. The skull there on their shields. So what's this here? Just a bugged unit there. That's alright, we'll start the deployment. Now with such incredibly low visibility, we can't see them and they can't see us. So let's move up where we can. Protect my archers. Now I'm curious to see if they push, to be honest. But only time will tell. So it looks like the HRE are holding some units towards the city of Groningen itself. They're posturing cavalry in the center, ready to push. And they have the general's bodyguard further back. What a terrible... What terrible weather to try and push them here. That guy looks badass. He definitely got to pick the good helm from the armory. Otto, I want the good helm. You had it last battle. But fuck you, we lost Frankfurt. I lost my helmet. My helm. Right, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. They seem to be holding. Fuck knows what the Austrian soldiers are doing. Ah, here we come. Here comes Leopold. King Leopold here, charging in. And slowly but surely, the Austrians are coming to help us out in the battle for Groningen. The battle for the Netherlands. Clogs, windmills, weed and wheat will dominate the fields here. Okay, so is anyone pushing me at all? No. Yeah, so we have 8,300 to their 4,002. Let's see what we're working with. There seems to be... Okay, I was going to say, there seems to be a cluster of crossbows there that we might be able to push and isolate. We're not. Right, let's push up. Oh, there's a tower there. Go with a flaming shot then and try and burn that down so we don't have to deal with it. Okay, so the Austrians are slowly entering into the battlefield. No way, don't do it, Leopold, please. Don't push for it. So we'll get our archers to move up and start to get rid of that tower. Yeah, so it's actually not highlighted on the map, but that one is. Okay. Oh, but the AI's throwing the general in. Okay, I don't care about King Leopold. However, a frontal charge, he did manage to kill 80 urban axemen. Leopold's gone mad. Leopold the loony, as what we call him on the continent, is charged straight into the ranks of the HRE. A bloody, heavily mounted cavalry charge against them. Are they stag banners? Yeah, I guess they're stag antlers. It kind of reminds me of the sigil of House Baratheon from Game of Thrones. Fuck, I'm disappointed in Game of Thrones. As the months go on about how pathetic that last season was, it fucking pisses me off as someone who is so heavily invested in Game of Thrones and its books. I always preferred the books, but I'm so lucky that I wasn't a fool to buy any of that Game of Thrones merchandise, because it would just piss me off fucking looking at it, looking at those stupid fucking bottles of alcohol and banners and shit. Oh, but more reinforcements are coming on. I'm just disappointed. I'm really disappointed. Like a good parent. Anyway, I'm not paying attention here. Do we burn that tower down? Yes. Okay. We kind of forgot about the tower burning. Right, so for some reason the Austrians are just absolutely pounding their heavy cavalry into the weaker units. Now, we'll try push in where we can. So, is that tower destroyed yet? I guess it doesn't matter because it doesn't even seem to be hitting us anyway, so we'll start focusing on their weaker ones. So let's go with a heavy shot there. Continue to hit that. You can try and to engulf this. It's got a little bit of fire damage going, but try and focus on that. So how... they've killed 100, but they've nearly killed their king probably, just charging absolutely everyone in. But I kind of respect it. The heavy cavalry charge like that. So now we're moving into a little bit more close proximity. Can we get some shots off? Doesn't even seem to be hitting us. I don't know, what's that thing's doing? We're still going to try and push it down. Looks like cavalry's going to try and meet us there. Let's pull back. Because seeing Saxon Ritter heavy cavalry convalesce on my position isn't a good thing. No one else seems to be pushing. Let's try and speed things up. You will draw if the timer runs out. Target the heavy then. You should be able to hit them from a decent range. So we have Milanese archers raining fire and death upon HRE cavalry with impunity for now. Well, the more chevrons we can get up, they're moving crossbows in. That's alright. They still seem to be withstanding a lot of it though. The Austrians are slowly bringing up their land units, and we're still holding our position. Okay, continue to hit them where you can. We haven't even killed a decent amount anyway. We'll try and, yeah, I think we'll try and just allow the Austrians to do most of the work fighting and dying for this one. And we'll try and skirmish where we can. Even though we're focusing on this tower, I don't even know if it's even hitting us. because we haven't lost any soldiers. That's what's confusing me. These guys are lighter anyway. We probably should hit those crossbows separately. While you guys focus on this. So the Austrians are looking to pierce through the heavily guarded centre. And they might be committing troops on this far side. They are too. So finally, some Austrian Landsturm or Sturm light spears have made their way up, along with their cavalry. Okay. So they still seem to be holding there. We'll allow our lighter archers to hit their crossbows, while the heavies focus on that. So, even though they're quite close to us, we are still raining fire and death upon them with superior Milanese skirmishers. Even though crossbows are the bread and butter of Milan, we do get some really nice archer bonuses and quality recruits as well in our army pool. And we seem to be racking up some decent kills against their heavy swordsmen just sitting there. I guess they're on a real defensive zone sort of pack. So they're pushing in there now. 1, 2. They're about to open up probably 5 attack runs here. But it looks like some Austrian swordsmen are coming into conflict to those archers that have come up and help. Man, look at that. Look at all the Austrian banners, pikes and spears swarming into the city of Groningen. And they're going to make quick work of that heavily depleted cavalry unit there. It looks like the crossbows that we were fighting on before have completely capitulated. And that cavalry is wavering as well. I wonder if we don't like fight with anyone. I wonder if we still get chevrons. I don't know. Anyway, continue to hit this where we can. Okay, so what are we working with? So they're engaging there on the right. So there's still a pocket here not being pushed, and they're wavering and they're wavering there. We might need to go in. Because how many have they lost? Nothing crazy. But pushing in to surround and take the town square might be the play. Okay, so push around here with those guys flanking. That's a good idea. I don't mind that. There seems to be units here just chilling, so we want to go for this. Potentially send... I was going to say send in my cavalry, but no. We'll push for this with our swords. And we'll push our cavalry around this side. You guys can... I was going to say push that, but probably not, because you're probably going to lose. Okay. We're finally fighting and moving side by side with our Austrian comrades. And we probably can pierce and hit this unit from behind. Okay, so my cavalry is coming around here. I'll get them to focus on those crossbows. Light peasants should be made quick work of when the Death Company Heavy Shock 13th Century Cavalry descends upon you. We're going to make quick work of them. In the forest of Groningen, the HRE screams. And so far, I'm quite liking the army build of Milan. I recommend playing it as a faction. If you can get past the vassalization problem, they're actually quite a good faction. Like unit variety wise. And aesthetically as well. Alright, push into this. My archers are getting way too close here, but if you can sort of hold and continue with your support. Okay, so give chase to these. Yeah. So I think that's the best play to get out of the vassalization issue. trying to unite. We essentially went around to every single Central European country, say, hey, will you sign this treaty, be my military alliance? We're probably going to gang up on the HRE, want to join, and then as we go one by one, like Austria gets the first signature, is Genoa, is Bohemia coming? Well, yeah, sure, he signed here. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, right, let's push through here. Alright. My cavalry's going around the side. Essentially what I want to try and do is get to the town square as quickly as possible. Continue to hit this. Okay, those attack orders are still working fine. The enemy general's dead. We seem to be losing here with Austrian forces, which is interesting. Like, well, they're only urban lights, so like if you can get a good charge off on them, we might be able to break them. I'm only taking this from example from that Austrian charge, and even though we haven't formed up properly, because you can centralize and go with a good cycle charge, we've actually nearly broken them. They're wavering already. Okay, get there to go here. So I'm actually happy I did push, because we might have potentially needed it. Okay, continue to push into this last lot here. And the crossbows seem to be whittling down a lot of them. So we haven't lost a single cavalry unit here. We've killed 30 of theirs. They're still continuing to waver. They're now wavering as well. Now, I never actually looked at this. What does this actually do? Encourage. Improve the morale of friendly units for an extended period of time. 30 seconds, 9 morale. Okay. Nothing too crazy, but better to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. The amount of times I say that stupid alien quote, that Alien versus Predator quote, from the chick that went on to do Fast and Furious. Oh, God. I have these sort of Simpzy-isms. You just sort of go on autopilot when you do Let's Plays and stuff for so long. You just automatically start dribbling shit. Oh, there's cavalry coming out to help me there. 20 there. We'll pull back. Yeah, crossbows, cavalry, pikes. It's not a good mix. Auto HRE unit, eh? Push for them. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, now we're starting to lose cavalry soldiers because HRE, not dismounted, mounted knights rather, are starting to engage us along with spears and cavalry. So we will lose some Milanese lives in this. I might be able to flank some guys around, actually. Yeah, I can. We'll do so. Yeah, they're flattening way too many in here. I need to regroup. Pull back. Oh, we've won here. They're concentrating everyone there. Okay. Yeah, pull back. The cavalry is the only one that's going to give chase. But one of our death companies is probably going to fully retreat. That heavy shock there ran through us. We're going to have to keep on running. Pull back. Pin these guys. Once we get into the town square, we should be able to initiate the countdown. Alright, let's start speeding things up. There is only 3 units of melee infantry, 2 crossbows, and a cavalry unit holding out. Push into the last lot of this then. And how many forces? We actually lost 3. Well, we didn't lose that much, but the Austrians did. Okay, it's probably not a bad idea for us to run these guys down. Just due to how many there are. We're probably going to get some easier kills here. So let's do it. Alright, let's speed things up. Because this should rocket up my chevrons. gaining its unit quality. Because even though we've got finances, having weaker units, the quicker we can get them, the better. Better quality ones. But yeah. 3,000 coalition forces died. I don't reckon too many were ours. Apart from that Death Company unit getting a lot. But for example, we're going to be able to run down like crossbow units like this quite easily with their last hurrah. And that should give us some chevrons. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Still continuing to finish off the last of their retreating forces. But overall, most of these guys aren't... There aren't that many numbers in them. Yeah, we ended there. Decisive for Milan. Alrighty, let's have a look at the casualties sustained and inflicted. Whoa! Okay. So, we deployed 2,611, losing 110. Leopold lost 872. That can't be right. They lost way more than that, I swear. Anyway, George deployed 4,020, lost 3,758. Looking at our soldiers, our cavalry did really well, 220, 264. Even the unit, the Death Company unit that got smacked, lost 241. Archers did really well, 92. My medium infantry did well, even though they're not the best quality of soldiers. 106, 79, 121. And for the HRE, what performed best for them were their cavalry and crossbow units. But we have taken the city of Groningen in the Netherlands. So what does that mean for the city? I wonder if we can puppet it. Is there someone we can rise up? Because I don't particularly want to expand north with Milan. Taking the Italian peninsula is probably the better bet, being the united force in Italy. Now, with our autonomy gained, we're going to be able to press that claim. Or we could puppet the HRE. We could do that. I just thought there might be an ethnically sort of Dutch faction there. Because the HRE took out the indigenous Dutch faction that was there. Okay, welcome to the campaign map, guys. We've defeated the HRE. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, poor Leopold. Leopold lost his life. Yeah, they lost a lot. I thought they lost way more than what they did. Anyway, we managed to destroy their army. Yes, we can subjugate the HRE. Sack, occupy, loot, and occupy. I'm going to occupy the city. Yes, it's subjugate, not like liberate or anything. So we'll break that down where we can. And we'll try and use this. So has the HRE been destroyed? Yes, they are. The HRE are no more. So our consequences did lead to the death of the Austrian king. Theodora has gone into a regency. Are you kidding me? So if Austria has gone into a regency, does that mean Margaret is the rightful ruler of Austria? It would have gone to Margaret if we didn't marry her to Gaspar. Maybe Gaspar and their children and descendants should be the kings of Austria. But as we don't connect up here, even though Groningen is a port city, we can't trade. So, unfortunately on that note, guys, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. I've had an absolute blast with episode 1 of the Milan campaign. It's had some crazy twists and turns. But for the next couple of episodes and turns, let me know where you want me to expand and conquer. So holding Groningen is of somewhat importance, but maybe pushing further south now and trying to forge the Kingdom of Italy. So we need Turin, Genoa, Verona, Pisa, Bologna, Naples, Reggio, Circus. So we need all of basically everything but Rome. Venice, interesting, isn't on that list, as I thought it might be. Okay, so maybe pushing against Genoa. God, they've actually managed to rally up massively. So, taking out something like Genoa is easier said than done. Savoy have a large army here as well, along with Verona. So, as much as I want to be the king of Italy, it might be more advantageous for us to take the likes of Venice, or maybe even France out. Yeah, we'll just have to see. But I feel like I've got enough military allies to declare war upon an ally and keep most of them. So if we push down back home and sort of hold and push together somewhere, we might be able to like push and take out Genoa, Turin, Verona, one by one. But we'll just have to see how we go for this campaign. So thanks for watching. Check out my social media links, Discord, Patreon, and support this series, and I'll do more episodes if that's something you'd like to see. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.